Hi guys. So today we're going to be talking about how to draw Pete the Cat. Before we get started with our drawing, I just want to kind of go over some of our vocabulary. Let's talk about some of the words you're going to hear me using. We're going to be talking about horizontal. And horizontal is the position or direction that is left to right and runs side by side. That's horizontal. We're also going to be talking about line. And line is the flat path of a dot made on a surface by a moving point. And you can see here, like, this is a line, but to create that line, I'm going to put some kind of writing implement. Could be a brush, could be a pencil or marker. I'm going to put that down and create a dot, and then I'm going to pull it. That's what creates our line. I'm going to talk about overlap. Overlap is when something appears on top of something else. So in this picture, you can see that the square is behind the circle. So the circle is overlapping the square. That's overlap. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is space. And when I say space, I'm not talking about outer space. I'm talking about the space inside of our drawings and how we create depth by using space. In this picture, you can see the mountains are in the background, the house is in the middle ground, and the tree is in the foreground along with the doghouse. It gives this illusion of space and depth in our drawings. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to draw Pete the Cat. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have my paper, and I'm going to do my paper horizontally. That means it's the long way, not this way. I'm going to turn my paper so it's the long way. Looking at my paper, I want to first visualize where I'm going to put my Pete the Cat. Because if I don't do that, I could start drawing and then I'm going to run out of space for him. So I'm looking at my paper and I'm thinking, I want my Pete the Cat right about here. So I'm using my finger to think about, there's where his head's going to go. And then I'm going to have his body come down like this. Okay, so now that I've got that, let's start with our Pete the Cat and his magic sunglasses. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use lines. Now, I'm using a Sharpie marker. You're going to be using pencil. I'm using the Sharpie so that the camera picks it up a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two ovals. One and two. This is the start of my Pete the Cat and his sunglasses. Now to finish his sunglasses, I'm going to put another oval inside the first oval. Okay, and let's do one inside the other one. This is showing where our frames are, and then inside here would be the glass. Now to put these onto Pete's head, they can't just float like that. So those of us who wear glasses know that there's a nose guard, goes here and here, and then the sides that would go behind your ears. See there? So now we've created Pete's sunglasses. I'm gonna give you a minute there to kind of see how I did that. Again, I did two ovals, one, two, then I drew ovals inside of the first ovals. One, two. I created the nose guard with two lines going across that joins the two ovals. And then I put two little, almost like half circles or maybe even squares to show where his earpieces would go. Now this is funny because Pete's sunglasses don't actually go over his ears. They kind of sit down on the side of his head. But we're going to draw his ears next. So thinking about where our sunglasses are, the sides of our glasses, we're going to draw a line and we're going to come up. And then Pete's ears look like triangles. So we're going to come back down like this, almost creating that triangle. The top of his head is rounded. And then let's create another triangle for another ear and come down like this. Now, if it's easier for you, you might want to go up first on both sides, just so you can see how big the ears are going to be. You don't want to make this circle come over too far and then run out of space for Pete's ear. So again, the way we did that, what might be easier is if you draw a line that comes straight up and then come down, and then maybe we'll draw a line that comes straight up and goes down, and then create the top of his head. Now we're going to make the rest of his face. And to make the rest of his face, I'm going to start over here on the right hand side, and I'm going to make his little cheek come down, a line down like this, and then a line that comes in like that. Okay, now let's do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to make a line that comes down like this, and a line that comes down like that. Now, I'm using a marker, and I made this line a little too long. That's okay. You're using a pencil, so you'll be able to go back and erase in case you made a mistake. Okay, so now, do you see Pete's head? I do. All right, now to make Pete's body, I'm just going to make two lines that come down like this. Now again, if I was using a pencil, I could erase these two lines where I accidentally went too far, and that's okay. Now let's give Pete his nose, and his nose is actually an upside down triangle. All right, so there we go. I came down like this, I made his lines for his body, I gave him a nose. What's missing? His whiskers. Pete knows he's got great whiskers. So from his cheeks, right underneath his sunglasses, let's go ahead and make 3 lines coming out for his whiskers. Okay, and on the other side, 1, 2, and 3. Congratulations. You just drew Pete the cat. Pretty cool, huh? Give you a thumbs up. Now, I want to create some space in my picture because right now, Pete's just kind of floating in nothingness. Where is Pete? I don't know. He's just blank in this blank paper. So what I want to do is I want to create a horizontal line behind Pete. Okay? About halfway down the paper, and I'm going to make this line go this way. Nice horizontal line, and then have it come this side. If they don't match up perfectly, that's okay. Okay, so we've created our horizontal line. If you look closely at this, you can see that I have overlapped. Pete is in front of the line. The line's behind him. If you accidentally drew into him at all, that's okay. You're using an eraser, you can go ahead and erase that out. So what we've done here is we're creating the illusion of space. So let's see, where should I put Pete with his cool sunglasses? I'm going to draw some mountains behind Pete because I'm thinking maybe he's out, he's on a hike. So I'm just going to kind of make some cool little mountains. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to go through Pete's head there, right? We're going to make some mountains in the background. There we go. So there's some mountains in the background of Pete. And then maybe up front, like in our story when he was going for a walk, maybe there's a bush. So I'm going to draw a bush right here. I'm just going to kind of make some rounded lines. Now notice, again, I'm using a marker, so I can't go back and erase my line through here. You can. All right, so there's a bush right there. What else do I want to add with Pete? Well, maybe I'm going to put some birds. I can put some birds. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to put some birds over here in the distance. Okay. And then because my Pete kind of ended right here, I'm going to have another big bush right here in front of him. Almost looks like a cloud, huh? There we go. That's okay though, because when I color it, I can color it green. So there we go. So we have Pete now, and he's in this space. Again, he's in this space. He's standing behind the bush. So the bush is overlapping Pete. This bush is overlapping the background. The mountains are overlapping the sky. But the main focal point we have is Pete. We're looking at Pete. Now I'm going to leave my drawing just like this. Again, you can do whatever you want with yours. You could draw a house if you wanted. Maybe Pete's outside his house. You could draw a tree. Maybe Pete's over by a tree. Maybe Pete's in the park and draw a park. You can draw whatever you want behind your Pete the cat. It's up to you. Once you're done with your drawing, I'm going to let you go ahead and use your color pencils or your crayons to go ahead and color in your Pete. Now remember, Pete has a weird color. He's not actually black. He's actually blue. I'm going to color him with my marker so you can see him nice and dark, right? Pete the cat is actually a blue cat. I'm not going to color him all the way in. I'm just going to go a little bit so you guys can see. And you can decide too, what kind of sunglasses do you want him to have on? Are they pink? Are they green? Are they blue? Well, if they're blue, it's going to match him. I'm just going to make mine kind of black. He's got on some dark sunglasses. Those are his magic sunglasses. There we go. I'll put a little more color on his face so you can catch up. Oops, kind of messed up. That's okay if I messed up a little bit. Let's color him in a little bit more. Maybe you're still drawing. That's fine. I'll just take my time. I'm going to sit here and color him in a little bit. Actually, I'll probably just end up coloring him all the way in. Let's go. Come on, Pete. I'm using all kinds of ways to use my marker. I'm using straight, I'm using curly. There we go. Right? Great. And what would Pete say right now? Pete would say, cool. All right, this has been recorded as a video, so if you got lost, you can always go back and rewatch it and figure out where you need to pick up, okay? All right, guys, there's our cool drawing of Pete the cat.